Next topic is performance support. Don Arnold, General Manager of NGRAIN Federal, focused on providing military the training tools for interactive learning on complex equipment. He's a founder of the Industry Advisory Council, which is a key policy forum in the federal marketplace. And he served 7 years on that council as in the executive board. He's a past director of business development for PeopleSoft, and now is vice president of programs, or has been the vice president of programs for eGov conferences. Welcome, Don Arnold.
Thank you, Doug. And thank you all for being here. Thanks to Mike and Digital Government Institute. This is a great forum. I'm looking forward to blazing through here since you took longer than the 2 minutes. That was my time, but we'll be okay. Doug in his map.
Oh, I got a presentation.
Doug in his map of e-learning put performance support out on the fringe. That's certainly a place I feel like I've been before. We're going to try to stay into the mainstream here, and I think you'll find from what we're doing with performance support, we're really in the mainstream, farther away from the fringe than you might be expecting. So let's take a look at some stuff. I guess we'll hold questions till the end, but if you want to throw something at me along the way, go ahead and feel free. I'll be handling it in process. Truman said this, or at least he's supposed to, and I like to tie this back to what Don Rumsfeld reportedly said a lot. It's the knowns and the unknown knowns and the known unknowns and the unknown knowns and all that. But I like Mark Twain's corollary to this. It said, it's not what you know, it's not what you don't know that gets you in trouble. It's what you know for sure that's wrong. So let's see where we go with this. Okay, performance support. Sorting through the hype. We're going to try to get... And I'm going to walk away from the mic. I assume my voice will work in this room pretty well. I've done it before. An agenda, okay? I'm going to blaze through it to catch up on the time. If I miss a point, grab me. I'll be glad to cover stuff. So let's define what this performance support thing, electronic performance support. There's a couple of definitions that are kind of seminal to this, going back quite a ways. It's amazing to me to think that the early 90s are a long ways back, but they are. And the 80s are the same way, but I'm going to bring to it a definition that we use today because we're more agile in the internet age, we're shorter and more compact. It's about using technology to learn how to do work, to make information available to those people who need it. Doug talked about just-in-time and just-in-case training and learning. We also need to talk about just enough. I don't need to know more than I need to know. Okay, let's describe this. These are some of the systems that are cited as government performance support systems. If you go out and do a wiki or do a Google, you'll see that it's used a lot in administrative systems in how to fill out forms. It's CBT or variations on computer-based training to show how to do things. A lot of it is electronic text. Doug talked about electronic learning, about e-learning and e-reading. One of the things we have seen as we work in a military environment that's very equipment intensive is we see a lot of technical manuals, and we see the birth, we've watched the birth of the electronic technical manual. One of the stories the folks who are out in that world tell is that the electronic technical manual really is when you take that old stack of paper, you take that old stack of paper and you scan it in, you put it on the computer, you put it into a PDF file, you put it on a stick or a CD or the net, and you send it out to the people in the field. And you know what they do with this electronic technical manual in many cases? They print it out, they punch 3 holes in the paper, and they put it back in a book. That's progress. It's good. Part of the electronic performance support is teaching at the teachable moment. I first heard that term a couple of years ago. It came out of TRADOC, and the chief information officer there used it in an e-learning conference I was attending, or knowledge management. So Jane gave me the teach at the teachable moment, which I thought was a great concept. It's fine for us to tell you, for me as an instructor here, if I were truly an instructor, to tell you facts. But if you're not listening, if you don't care right now, that's wrong. And one of the things the military is learning is you have to appreciate the mode of learning and the receptiveness of the learner. So that's part of the way we go down this. What NGRAIN does is to take a mode that we believe is very accessible to the modern military learner. And we're very focused on the military marketplace. How many people here are military in orientation? Okay. How many people here are instructors, or teachers, or educators? Pretty good mix. And people who are involved in the infrastructure, the administration of learning systems and training. Okay. Just so we kind of know who we are. The reality that we've seen is the e-reading is a lot of what's happening. We talk about lots and lots of things that are being done in e-learning, that are being done in performance support. But when we break it down and get to it, a lot of it is putting the TM on a stick and printing the pages out, sticking them in a book. What we need to do is to go beyond that. So we think at NGRAIN we found a way to go beyond that. We've done a couple of things that show where the possibilities go. Can you teach people faster? Can you save money by doing it? Let me ask a question here. I assume everybody works at 40 hours or the modern equivalent, which is 50 or 60 hours. Would it be attractive to you if you could accomplish 30% more in that 5-day work week, that theoretical 5-day work week? Who would like to go accomplish 30% more? Okay, I believe we're near you then. Great. Well, what if you could do that and if you could finish your work on Tuesday? 60%, we got a hand here for the 60% reduction in work weeks. And one of the things we've seen with electronic performance support, going back to the definition, what we mean is using computer technology instead of using the actual on-the-job stuff for training purposes, for allowing people to see the information they need in a format other than just a book or just hand me the wrench and get out of my way. Accidents in the military are a tremendous problem. It's a dangerous world. People get hurt here. If we can reduce those accidents, if we can make people safer in the training process, we really accomplish something. I assume everybody knows about READ, the technical manual of the RTFM. So, what we're doing at NGRAIN is training soldiers faster. Providing a way to do things that simply can't be done in the classroom, helping that OJT. There's a concept in the aerospace community called a NUG, an N-U-G, a new useless guy. When you get somebody who's fresh out of this school, he's a NUG, and guess what he does? He follows around somebody who knows something for 2 or 3 years to become an aircraft mechanic. Happens in the military as well, to become a tank mechanic. When you come out of these 8-week, 10-week, 12-week programs and make you an expert in a technical field, you can imagine how much expertise you actually have compared to what you have to be a true professional, journeyman in that area. So it takes a few years of OJT. If we can compress that OJT, if we can make that 5-day work week happen in 2 days, we still got time to do more. And if we can do it in a way that makes life better for the people we're teaching, so much the better. So we're going to talk about 3D performance support using an NGRAIN technology, 3D modeling, to show people how to work with equipment. We're not doing drive the convoy through the village. We're not doing leadership training, how do you make a decision based on these sets of inputs. We're doing, here's a piece of gear, let's work with it. NGRAIN has developed the concept of a virtual task training, which is a 3D model that allows us to give to a student, to give to an instructor a 3D model with minimal training, minimal time to learn how to use these things. And by minimal, I mean minutes. To allow to be able to use a 3D model, to cut into it, to see the parts, to see the insides, the outsides, and turn it around. So we are able to interact. We as a student, we as an instructor, showing things here on the screen. We're able to interact with this piece and see how it works and see how it fits together. That fits the learning mode of what the instructors call the Xbox. They're used to 3D environments. They're used to massive multimedia onslaughts of their senses. And when you say, read the book, they go to sleep. When you say, play with the 3D model, take it apart, put it back together, and time that, let's see how that works. They're very much better at getting there. Passing on. Also, because we're talking military stuff, sometimes you got to carry this computer asset with you, so it helps to be able to put that asset in your pocket.